Okay, a little trip down to the dentist and some other stuff. So far 25 miles, 43 minutes. Average energy is 254 watt hours per mile. And so since no, I didn't go up on the expressway. Well, I did after the toll road. So there's some highway speed at 65. Anyway, whatever. This is about FSD, right? So coming up the street from my house, I noticed. So if you've forgotten or if you didn't know, my street's half torn out. I mean, the asphalt part anyway. So whenever they put in sewer line, water line, they just tear up the edges and do whatever they got to do. And I guess they probably have like half, maybe more than half of the lots on my street are still waiting to be developed. And I'm guessing the city's going like, yeah, why should we pave it? Because they're just going to tear it up again. So anyway, all that leads up to, my neighbors don't necessarily know where the street is and where the right-of-way begins, so to speak. So driving up the road, there's a guy parked on I'm sure he must think it's a shoulder, but he's parked on the street. So he's parked on the street facing me as I come up the road. So okay, I turn on FSD, let's see what it does. So FSD recognizes the car and shifts left to go around it. No problem whatsoever, which actually is kind of cool. I mean, I just avoided seeing if the car could figure out going around the trash truck yesterday. So anyway, that's good. Then coming up to American, well, I didn't have navigation set, so FSD decided he's following Santa Rosa. He's not going to turn on American, even though I have my turn signal on. So I have to brake to cancel FSD to go right. All right, so fine, whatever. Okay, so the problem in that lies in that the autopilot wheel has a hard time showing up once you're on Boggy Ford. So FS2 was off till I got out to Loman Ford. When I got to Loman Ford, yeah, I'd turn it back on. Eventually I figured out, yeah, the best place to navigate to is 24-hour. It's past the dentist, so that'll get me to where I'm going. Right, I can always brake later to get out of it. So that part's good. At the famous, oh my goodness, I can't. This is getting worse and worse. Anyway, so stopping for traffic signal, of course. Fortunately, there was no cars right behind me. So okay, fine. Whatever you gotta do, what you gotta do. So he slows down to 25 miles an hour before he figures out he can go. Right? In the meantime, there's a truck I didn't even see. He came up and passed me already. While Tesla FSD is trying to figure out that whether or not flashing yellow is a stop sign or stop light or not. I don't know. To ordinary human eyes, it sure looks like a flashing yellow. I know it has a lot to do with the timing of how it flashes off, and I guess maybe if there's not a yellow to take its place, it assumes it went red. I don't know. Although at no point does he actually stop for this traffic signal he's stopping for, but he's slowed way down. So today it was down 25. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony, let's move on. So as we get into Cedar Park, and I'm in the outside lane, for some reason, the car is starting to hug's not the right word, but he's crowding the inside lane, or the line. I don't know why. I mean, a couple of times there was a car there next to me, and FSD is crowding in the line. It must be that California road rager coming out somehow. I don't know. There's no reason for it. So some people say that you can force the car to steer left or right by putting some pressure on the wheel. So I put pressure on the wheel to push it a little bit right, try to get it to center a little bit. And eventually it kind of does. It's just, I don't know. I don't get it. Why? There's no reason for it. You know where you are. Well, sort of, kind of. You don't, so you're not precise. But anyway, whatever. So, let's see, I don't have avoid toll roads on, so when I finally put in the 24-hour, it's going to put me up on the 183A, the toll road. Not exactly what I want, but that's where it's going to go. So as I'm driving, I finally remember, oh yeah, I can change navigation. I can set that setting. So I changed that setting. Okay. In the meantime, the outside lane's going a bit slow. And I guess there's room in some places where I could get into the middle lane. Anyway, during this time, the car's beeping at me. Beep. No message. No change in display. It's a beep. What? What's going on? I have no idea. But after a while, he finally turned on his turn signal. I wasn't really expecting it to do that. So when he did it, it was like, oh wait, what? Not that I like going slow, but there's just so much traffic around. What? I don't like shifting lanes back and forth if there's a lot of traffic around. Right? I mean, anyway, so he turned on his left turn signal. He wants to get over in the middle lane, and I cancel it. But the car's beeping at me. So anyway, after a while, I finally relent. Hit the brake, take off FSD, switch to the middle lane, and the problem was we're kind of close to Bell, and there's a lot of traffic in front of that was going by, so I was kind of stuck. And then all of a sudden there were some people who were going on the Bell, and the right lane opened up, and I just shot across the right lane. Maybe not completely legally, although I don't think I crossed the solid white line, but it was close. Anyway, whatever. Once I was on Bell, I didn't have FSD on. I just left FSD off going down Bell. My attitude is getting a bit tired of FSD's nuances or mannerisms. It's starting to get to me. Which, if you've been listening, you know I'm getting tired of them. Anyway, peace and army. It's okay. So where are we? We're on Bell. I get up on the highway. I think I decided to leave it off. I mean, just leave FSD off. At this point, I'm almost there, so I'd just leave it off. So really, I only had FSD on for like a third of today's trip, or at least this morning. But we'll see how it goes later. And it's not that he's doing anything wrong. I mean, really wrong? Nothing, but it's just, I get tired of him after a while. Okay, so while I was at the dentist, he was asking me about my, he knew I had a Model Y. But since then I bought a Model 3. So I was telling him about my Model 3, and I told him how I went about it, and the fact that one of my main reasons for buying the Model 3 was, well, one of the main reasons for buying another car was to get the FSD, but buy the car used so FSD is not such an expensive outlay. I mean, which was true in my case. I mean, we could argue if it's $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 I put out for FSD, but it's somewhere in that range, I think. I mean, if you think my car was worth at least $38,000 or maybe even $37,000, at $37,000, it'd been a little over $4,000 I paid for FSD. So there you go. Anyway, he was going like, oh, I have to think about this. All right. So I told him parts of what I did. I mean, hopefully it gave him enough to think about. I mean, he's still missing. I mean, I understand it. I mean, he's like, but I've never gotten a Porsche, and I never got to experience a Porsche. You know, go rent a Porsche. Why buy a Porsche to then get stuck with a nice car? But anyway, when he said, oh, well, you know, if it's about the acceleration, you're just get the Model 3 Performance. The Model 3 Performance is so good. Now, the Model S Plaid is far better, but Model 3 Performance is a fun car to drive. It's really fun. And it's a family sedan. Okay, I'm finding that the Model 3 is a little bit smaller and tighter than I expected it to be. So, I mean, you'll have to think about it, how big a family you have. But that's why I have a Model Y. Model Y is about carrying people around. But anyway, I told him how I went about it, and he's thinking about it. Told him why I bought FSD, and so he's thinking about it. I mean, he wasn't really thinking about FSD when I talked about it. He said, "Oh, okay, I have to think about it." I mean, he's a family man. I think he can only spend so much, and he has a wife. I'm sure his wife she'll tolerate some happiness, but only so far, right? That's what wives do. Well, that's not family oriented. But if you get a family sedan, that's also a sports car in essence. I mean, it's a win-win. I suppose that Porsche 911, that's a 2+2. Can I put people in the back seat? Yes, I can. But it's pretty small. And if you're 5'11" like I am, you're going to have a really hard time fitting in the back. That's just a fact of life. But anyway, even my friend who's 5'3", she was saying that she felt like she had to duck her head down in the back. So it's not very big. That back seat is only for if you really, really, really. It's like if you get the third row seat in the Model Y. Are you going to really put people in it very much? No. It's only there for those 2 occasions a year that you really, really, really have to put somebody in the back. But anyway, whatever. I talked to him. He sounded very interested. And he said he's already test drove some car. But anyway, peace and harmony. Onward, upward charge. One person at a time. Okay, so where did FSD go? All of a sudden, he's much better. I don't know. I mean, it's just this little section from HEB down to 24-hour. But whatever. It was actually pretty good. So let's see, 24-hour, pull that onto what's the name of that street? Anderson Mill. Okay. Put on FSD, worked just fine. So coming up, Anderson Mill, so they've, compared to what it was 10 years ago, anyway, they now have a relatively long right turn lane. Surprisingly enough, the car moved right into that lane with no problem, because there's a solid white line once you get in that lane. So it moved in that lane, no problem. It came up to the intersection. We had the green light, which I guess FSD hasn't quite calculated what that means if you're turning. So I gave it a little accelerator to keep it going. I used the turn signal to move over one lane, and I used the turn signal to move over one more lane. Normal stuff. Once he was up on the highway, he did just fine. It seems like at some point, no, he didn't. He was fine. Oh, so there was a spot where there was a car merging in, and there was only like 1.5 car lengths space between me and the car in front of me, but it was pretty obvious that's where that car was going to go. So rather than wait for the California road rager to speed up and cut him off, I just braked, let the car in, and then re-invoked FSD. Okay. But I mean that's normal thing with FSD is he really doesn't want people to get in front of him. Okay, fine, whatever. That part was fine. Got out. So once I got onto what's it, Anderson Lane, whatever the frontage road is, there was a car coming up in the middle lane, and I kind of had a feeling what FSD was going to block him from getting over, because he did want to get over. So FSD, at first he was going to fly by, and then he realized that there was just enough space for him to squeeze in between the car in front of him and the car we just prevented from getting over. So he cut in there. Of course, as soon as we cut over, the car that was in the middle lane got over to the left lane and flew by. So I don't know what the California road rager got from blocking him, but it's part of the normal ebb and flow of negotiating space on the highway. All right, so, and almost as soon as he got into the middle lane, he turned on turn signal and went right to go into the outside lane. Okay, normal stuff. Coming into 24-hour, there was no car there, so FSD handled it okay. But so what I noticed was he was almost straddling the two lanes, so to speak, going in the in-ramp. So instead of sticking to the right, he went middle. Fortunately today there was no other car there, so it wasn't an issue. He was signaling to go left. So when you come in 24-hour to go to the front entrance, you go to the left. Normally I go around to the back or to the side. So he signaled that, but then he said navigation ended and stopped. And I just took over, just braked and took over from there. So I would say that's probably an A. Other than the one interaction with that car, and you know, that car and FSD would have figured it out on their own. I just had this feeling if a car is already in front of you, you should let them in. Unless they got there rudely, so to speak. And by rudely, I mean they came up from 10 cars behind and they expect to get in front of you. No, you can pick somebody else to get in front of. That's usually my attitude. But if we got there at the same time or you're in front of me, there's no problem I have no problem letting you have space to get in. Okay, whatever. This part was good. All right, so 24-hour over to Whole Foods. Now I'm hungry. I need to eat something. Anyway, I initiated FSD in the parking lot. There's a cross street, so to speak, before you get out to the road, and he treated it like a four-way stop, I guess. Yeah, I get it. He's just being cautious. There is no stop sign, so you have to be careful with it all. But so when we got out to 183, he navigated into the center of the ramp going onto the road, and so while I was there, I guess I grabbed the wheel and turned it a little bit, and that canceled FSD. Okay, fine, who cares? There was a fair amount of traffic coming anyway, so I handled it. Now I did run my wheel up on the curve, surprisingly, considering that we oh gosh, I mean, it really shouldn't happen, I don't think, but it did. So I was trying to cut too close, and maybe if I just waited just a few more seconds, it would have been more clear. I don't know. Whatever, peace and harmony, it's all good. So I left it off until I got up onto 183. So we're coming up to, we're passing Great Hills, I think it is, wherever that road is. We're going by that, and I'm in middle lane, and 183's entrance ramp, you have to be in left lane to make it. So I was first one in middle lane. There was a it is. There's a Suburban there in the inside lane, and I figured, yeah, I can out-accelerate Suburban unless he's really whomping on it. But even then, I'm probably green, so I figured that'd be no problem. So yes, I did that and accelerated up, and boom, on the 183. So that went well. The interchange getting to the Mopac northbound exit worked well. I mean, it's a ramp, right? But the car handled all that pretty good. I mean, he was going a little bit fast for my comfort, but I guess when you have confidence in your racing tires and wheels, you can do whatever you want. So I guess FSD did. So anyway, that part worked out well. So the other part is when you come down to Whole Foods into the main, you have to cut across 2 lanes of traffic, 3 lanes of traffic really, to make it into Whole Foods, unless you do the more conservative, safe driving way to do it. So anyway, the car was acting a little squirrely getting into the exit, because as soon as the car in front of me moved over, guess where he's going? He's going to turn right? The car sped up. Oh, okay, I can go. Boom. Yeah, California Road Ranger strikes again. Oh, there's not really road raging. He's just saying, I finally can go. Okay, well, yeah, but there's a catch. Guess what? We need to make an exit on the right. So anyway, so he kind of did it halfway. So I just braked, took control, made the lane crossings that I needed to make it into the Whole Foods. So anyway, the parts where he was in control, wow, he actually did pretty good. Right up to the point where he couldn't commit to making a left exit. I mean, right exit. Good. So, I mean, oh, well, of course, and why do you navigate into the middle of a 2-way street? I don't know. At least people treat it as 2-way. It's not lane marked or anything, but we all treat it as 2-way because we know people could be coming in when we're going out. Anyway, like they say, FSD is not rated for parking lots just yet, so that makes it pretty obvious. Yes, it's not. It has a chance. If things go perfectly, it'll handle a lot of it, but there's some things it just can't do. Anyway, peace and harmony. Okay, so from Whole Foods up to Walmart, 13 miles, 30 minutes. Like my average energy is up to 321 watt hours per mile. Now, it is, whoa, car says 110 degrees. So it's 109, 110 degrees, whatever it is. So it's much hotter, so the air conditioning is working harder. No doubt about that. So that's fine. But this is about the FSD part, right? So let me add 2 notes here. One is, it should be obvious to you, but when you're in a parking garage, you don't have the cell reception, at least the car doesn't, so I can't look up a location. So I had to wait till I got out of the parking garage to do the search for location. Okay, so that's one. And 2, the beeping is apparently when the car desperately wants to move lanes on you, he'll beep until you satisfy his demand. At least I think that's what's going on. This is a new feature with the update I got. Let's see. So where are we at? The build number's 2023.20.8. Okay, I'm still in version 11.1. The FSD is still 11.3.6. Okay, whatever. Peace and harmony. This is apparently a new feature. I don't never remember hearing that before. It did that to me this morning, and it started doing that to me this afternoon coming up Parma Lane. Of course, my solution to that is like, okay, let's take FSD off. Okay, so once I got on Parma, I think just before I got on Parma Lane, got FSD on. Most of it handled well. You got in the right lane, no problem. Well, I used turn signal push into the right lane, but you got in the right lane. What's interesting is for 2 or 3 traffic lights, we're in the 60 zone, and he's slowing down to 50. Now, the car that's in front of me should not be a factor. He's far enough up. I mean, when the car is closer, yes, you can tell he's slowing down because the car in front of you. I don't think there might have been a car on one side or the other, but that doesn't seem as likely. It looked a lot like he's looking at a green light going, well, what do I do when it's a green light? Do I stop? Sorry. Maybe your kid didn't talk like that when you were teaching them how to drive, or her. My kids kind of talk to, what do I do? Okay, no, actually my kids don't talk that way. That's the made-up voice I use when I talk about people who don't know what they're doing. Okay, so what 3 out of, let's say, 7 lights. So 3 in a row. For everyone knows, I sent a message. I don't know why he's slowing down. He's slowing down. It's a green light. 2 of those green lights were pretty fresh green lights. So I don't know. I mean, one I think had just turned. I think there was only a few cars in front of me, so it was a relatively fresh green light. I have no idea what he was doing. Okay, anyway, like I said, coming up Parma, he doesn't like being in the left lane half a mile out knowing that you're going to make a left turn. FSD does not like that if he thinks he should be in the right lane. Absolutely, he's against it. So, twice? Okay, so I'm in the inside lane, driving up to eventual left turn. Twice he turned on the turn signal to indicate he wanted to go right. The first time, I just hit the paddle and canceled it. The second time, in between, there was a beep. Second time, I just pressed the brake. We're out of FSD. I mean, I don't. It's apparently a new feature. The beeping, that is. Dude, I'm so chill. I gotta be in the right lane. I mean, that's been around for a little bit now. It's weird. I mean, dude, I'm so chill. You, the driver, you're the one that's road raging. No, I'm not road raging. It's just I'm coming up on a left turn, and there's no reason to be in the right lane, because if you're not in a position to go to the left turn, you're going to have to cut across somebody, and the traffic's busy, so why do that? Okay, whatever, peace and harmony. I mean, this has been a constant feature of FSD, so whatever. Peace and harmony. Okie dokie. Home again, jiggity jog. What do we got here? So from Walmart, 20 miles, 36 minutes, 278 watt hours per mile. Man, so when people talk to you about heat pumps and Teslas, if you're in a position where a choice is between getting a car with a heat pump and a car without, I would suggest you take a serious look at I'm guessing that the heat pump version would be costing more because it's probably a newer car. This is a 2020. Was it 2021 that they got heat pumps? I don't remember for sure. But anyway, looking at my watt hours per mile, you can see I'm using up more energy, and part of that is because it's 109 degrees outside. The highest temperature the car showed was 110. Whoo, baby, it's hot. But we're in Texas. All right, so going back, FSD, how did we do this time? So I was in the Walmart parking lot, and I saw the autopilot wheel came on. So just for grins, I started FSD. As it pulled up to the main road that goes in front of the Walmart, or the parking lot road, whatever you want to call it, it's signaling left. So it's saying it's going to go left. But then there's a car come, so I braked. There was a car coming, I braked. And once that car went by, I re-invoked FSD. And then FSD said, oh, wait, if that car can go right, I can go right too. So it did it right. This time, that the little cross street that's down there with the gas station, it just rolled right through it. Didn't even think about it, which really surprised me. Maybe I didn't see any cars there, so maybe there was cars before. I don't know. But it just rolled right through it. Got out to the street level, and it was, maybe it was creeping forward look, I don't know. But it was clear, and I just put my foot on the accelerator, got it to go. So we got out on the road. We're doing good. Yeah, we're going. So he saw the 60 speed limit, sped up to 60. He was going pretty good. After a while, he decided that he wanted to follow the right lane is for losers, get in the middle lane rule. So he did that, which is fine. That's really where I want to be anyway, because that right lane's going to come to an end. So he got over. Okay, cool. Then somewhere right around the whatever that shopping plaza is with the Target and all that, it decided it was going to get in the right lane to follow the route. Get in the right lane to follow a route. Okay, why the route's not telling you to get in a lane that's going to turn right. Navigation says we're going to go straight. But okay, he's not looking far enough ahead. And I don't know how to convince FSD to look further ahead. Navigation is supposed to be thinking for you, right? But whatever. The thing is, when he went to the right, he didn't cut off a truck, but it was really close. Yeah, it was probably just almost a car length difference there. Okay. On top of that, so you just cut off a truck, and then we come up to an entrance into the shopping plaza, and the car slows down to think about whether or not it wants to go into the shopping plaza. Navigation says we're going to go straight. There shouldn't be any discussion here. And I'm guessing that's what he's doing. Maybe he was doing something else. I don't know. But the truck behind me that we essentially cut off, he could see I'm yelling at the computer. He saw me yelling, my hands gesturing, because I'm yelling at Ego like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just go. Okay, whatever. That's one of the new features I saw today was when he wants to slow down, think about it. Oh, he'll slow down. He don't care where he is. What? We're in the middle of a 50-mile-per-hour highway? Oh, I think I'll just slow down to 15, 20 miles an hour and think about it. Okay, whatever. But since that truck already left, he went all the way to the inside lane, actually, which is where we probably should have been if Ego wasn't having this identity crisis thing. What identity crisis? Well, you got California Road Rager, who's also sitting there like, dude, I'm so chill. I can take my time to get there. And you can feel it in the car, like, anytime the road cleared up ahead of us, or if a car was passing us on the left, oh, he sped up, boom. But then it's like, oh, there's a car in front of us, we can't go too fast. Oh, I'm chill. Like, what? Whatever, peace and harmony. So anyway, there was that part. But I let it ride, because it's kind of curious to see what Ego's going to do. And part of the idea is you're supposed to be letting them learn, right? I mean, I can only tolerate so much, but I'm letting them learn as best I can. All right, so we get through there. We get across Bell at Walton Way. As we're crossing the intersection, I noticed that, oh, there's a cop there with his lights going. So he's getting ready to go. It's already too late to stop from going to the intersection. I'm already there. But as soon as I finish going through the intersection, I press the brakes, so FSD's off, and I come to almost a stop. I mean, I don't know. I know that FSD there's been some discussion of how the car handles emergency vehicles, right? And I'm at 11.3.6, so I don't have the latest updates, not even close. So I kind of figure he's not going to know what to do. So I just brake so that whatever that cop's going to have to do, he's going to go do. Get out of his way. It's fine. Okay, whatever. As long as now that I have FSD off, okay, I don't have to argue with you, ego. I'm just going to do it. So I get in the middle lane. Okay, I mean it's around 4 o'clock. The traffic's starting to get a little bit busier, which would be expected at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So anyway, when I reinvoke FSD, which was just before the Valero, I think it is. So we just go along. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. There's several people who are expressing through their driving mannerisms some irritation over what's going on with me and my car. I don't know why. I'm in the right lane. I'm not doing anything. I mean, yeah, maybe I'm going slow, and sometimes, I mean, FSD, and I've said this before, when he's going around a curve that's going uphill, downhill, he goes, oh no, I don't understand what the road's going to do. You have the navigation map right there. It doesn't tell you. I know it's one of the layers that they were supposed to be working on, and I think those guys have was it 11.4.4? I think they have some of that stuff there, and no, I don't have it in 11.3.6. But whatever, it is what it is. Peace and harmony. The main thing is I left FSD on. I let him continue with what he was doing. It wasn't doing anything dangerous or stupid, so let him roll. Right? There's 3 criteria I have. It's really stupid, right? Because I'm the one driving the car. Even if FSD is doing it, I'm the one responsible for driving the car. Dangerous? Oh, no. If it's dangerous, we're stopping right then and there. And then the third thing is, if I'm just getting tired of your game, right? You want to go play mind games with Elon? Go right ahead. Elon likes that stuff. I like my life simple. And you can ask anybody who knows me. They know I don't like playing mind games. I don't like having to guess what it is you want. Just tell me. Am I lazy? Okay, I'm lazy. Fine. Blame me all you want. Whatever. Peace and harmony. If I'm going straight down a road, chances are I want to go straight down a road. Right? If I wanted to be racing around Laguna Seca, I would go to, I think it's California, right? I would go to California and pay the however many $1,000s it is to go race, and go race. Burn up my tires and have to get new tires. Oh, great. That's wonderful. That's what happens when you race a race car. Anyway, peace and harmony. It's okay. It's all right. I just don't worry about it. So anyway, where are we? We're in Jonestown. So in the 50 zone, there's people. Oh, I have to go really fast. Okay, we're in a 50 zone, and occasionally the Jonestown cops do come down there to hand out speeding tickets for people, especially like you. I mean, Oh, so what does Ray do for speed limit when he's on FSD? It's speed limit +1. Now, why do I say +1? Because when I go by the speed trap on 1431, if I'm doing 55, it says I'm doing 54. If I set my speed to 56, it says I'm doing 55. So I assume that it's reporting one more mile than an hour than I'm actually doing. Now, it could be the speed trap thing is set weird too. Cops play those games or make those allowance, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. So anyway, that's the way I set my speed. Anyway, so we're going through Jonestown. These yahoos who are going like, oh, I'm going really fast. I have to do 60 in the 50 zone. All of a sudden they wake up, find themselves in the 45 zone. You're like, oh, they hand out tickets in Jonestown. Yes, they do, especially when they have new cops in training. But whatever, peace and harmony. So some of the cars that were past me, I was catching up to. I don't know why. And of course, they're all going, no, I'm going really, really fast. Dude, you're doing 40 in a 45 zone. Hello? Anyway, peace and harmony. During all this time, FSD's in charge, FSD's driving. Coming up to the top of the hill where we go into the 55 zone, I bump it up, give it a little bit more mile per hour, and we get going a little bit. But by that time, all the people who were confused about Jonestown are now all leaving. So good riddance, go away. So, you know what's next, right? Oh, well, let's pass East Reed Park Road. But East Reed Park Road just has a stop sign for Reed Park Road. So we're not, FSD's not worried about that intersection. So we're coming up on the infamous Tesla traffic light, which to regular human drivers is flashing yellows. It throws up the sign, stopping for a traffic light. It slows down to 21 miles per hour. There was a pickup that was pretty far back. By the time the car was figuring out what it was doing, that truck was already passing us. Right? I mean, that's what, 15, 20 seconds maybe? But still, that's about how long it took for him to figure out that, oh, those flashing yellow lights, wait, for some reason, they're still flashing yellows. Now, in the display, he'll show them occasionally turning red. So it'll turn red and go right out. Right? Just like that. Boom. So the red is software. The red is the software in Tesla and FSD. Okay, whatever, peace and harmony. This time, because it wasn't a danger, I let him do it. Just whatever. Until Tesla decides that they actually want FSD to work, it's going to be like this. Someday they're going to wake up and say, you know, maybe we should do something about this because this is really stupid. And people don't want to take robo-taxis from Lago Vista to Cedar Park if you're going to stop in the middle of the road. Yeah, that's it. Okay, whatever, peace and harmony. Let's move on. So we're doing okay. We come up on, we're going on the downhill up to Destination Way. The car gets over in the left lane. Cool, awesome. And for some reason, he's starting to kind of stormtroop. I mean, the speed, the car's set to only go so fast, but he's starting to stormtroop up to Loman Ford. But the cool news is, once he detected we're going to turn left, that's probably not the way I should say it. But anyway, when we start getting close to that intersection, he slammed right into that left turn lane. Right? I mean, in previous passes, he was kind of timid about it. Today, he was not timid. He went. So good. Great. Now, when it comes time to turn left, he's kind of like, oh, well, I've never done this left turn before. You've done it like 50 times. Okay, maybe not 50 times in FSD, But, I mean, I've done it hundreds of times. Come on. Peace and harmony. It's okay. It's all right. So I think there was I wasn't really paying attention, but there was a pickup behind me. And I think he was getting kind of irritated. He probably wanted to get by. Is that right? No, there was the Cap Metro bus. Cap Metro bus was kind of behind me. I think the pickup must have been behind the Cap Metro bus. Whatever. So the Cap Metro bus at some point decided he was tired of waiting. Or maybe he decided to get to the right because he's going to turn right anyway. Although I think he was wanting to go by. So anyway, whatever. So the car is kind of like doing its surging thing right now. I don't know why. It's like, oh, we're turning a little bit left. Oh, you have a full view of the road. Oh, but maybe I don't. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what it's doing. It's just being weird. So at some point, it's doing another changing lanes to follow route. Well, okay, so you must already decide that we're going to go down Don. You did that to me the other day, and I got tired of it. And just like the other day, when the signal came on the second time, I just braked, done. No more. You know, I'm tired of this. Just because you found a route that saves you a mile, I mean, and gives you the privilege to drive for a couple more minutes. I don't want to take a couple more minutes, and I don't want to wait for you to figure out how to make a left turn when it's a two-way stop and you're not having to stop. Whatever, peace and harmony. So just like before, I keep it going past, I can't ever remember that road. Travis. Past Travis. Once I'm past Travis, re-invoke FSD. In the meantime, the Road Rager pickup is still right behind me. Okay, he's not right, but he's not too far away. And we're finally catching up. So there was another pickup that was in front of me at the traffic light. Actually, they turned with the same green I did. But for somehow they had gotten up the road a little bit, so I caught up to them, and they're just they'll get there someday. But I think Road Rager behind me was going like, well, even if he wasn't here, I still couldn't go past that truck. So he finally started calming down because it wasn't like I was taking time. I want to go too. Whatever. So then we finally come up to Boggy Ford, the Boggy Ford right turn. And again, FSD is going like, but I've never seen this right turn before. I don't know how to do it. Again, I've been through this hundreds of times. On an FSD, at least 50, 40 at the very smallest number. But all of a sudden, he's going like, I don't know how to do it. So, forget you. And I said this the other day, right? Forget you. FSD's off. I can drive the rest of the way home. Dude, Tesla, if you don't want your product to work, give me a $15,000 refund, and I'll just drive my car. Right? I mean, there must be a reason why you have me stuck at 11.3.6. While you have other people going like, 11.4.4 is the greatest thing in the world. Oh, right? As far as I can tell, it's no good. Okay. For the most part, FSD's actually pretty good. It's just when it gets into this annoying mode of, I don't know how to make a right turn. I don't know how to make a left turn. Or I really, really, really wanted to make a lane change, and because you canceled out, I'm going to beep every so often just to bug you. Right? Why? Now, if it were to display a message saying that's what's going on, it'd be a little bit more acceptable, but it doesn't even do that. Okay, whatever, peace and harmony. So where were we? We were B plus yesterday. It's actually better than yesterday. Did it do anything dangerous? No. Did it do something stupid? Yes, several times. But well, actually, dangerous is when you're cutting off a medium duty pickup, or whatever you want to call it, a 2500 pickup. That's dangerous, actually, especially since you have no intent of going anywhere near the speed limit, and the traffic wouldn't let you do it anyway. But whatever, peace and harmony. So that was actually dangerous. But let's go here. I think it was B plus yesterday. It's actually better than yesterday, but now it's getting these annoying habits. They're annoying. So let's call it a B, just a regular B. And let's go from there.